also going to need to print another I/O circuit. There we go. And between the two of them, I'll be able to rewire in here to use an occupancy sensor to turn the lights on or off. I remember when the occupancy sensor was added. Folks are so happy because it worked the way folks actually wanted the motion sensor to work. Yeah, that does make sense to me. It's the way I thought it would work. So I can definitely see that. Right, let's turn that light off and head back inside. I needed a drink anyway. Right, helmet off, suit off. Now I'm going to want to weld at least these 2 tiles, and I have all the materials with me to do that, so I almost certainly will. Grab another potato. I'm trying to cycle through them quickly so that I'm not going to waste them. I don't think there's really any risk of that, but... Oh, that's right. I think I would like to have hydration, like a water fountain and the water bottler on that wall. Yeah, I think that would work. Do I have anything in here that I need for that? Oh, these need to go as well. Honestly, a part of me thinks I'm probably going to just get rid of that, but we'll see. I am going to print a better system for that one. Sorry, card. Now, switch is there. That's fine. The logic switch here. Logic reader. There we go. Let me just check. I just heard the door. Let me check if that was Sheilab coming in or whether that's someone knocking the door. Doesn't look like... No. No, it doesn't look like that was the delivery yet. Okay. There we go. Right. We want to wire this up. This one would be nice and easy to do. Ah, I'm allergic to wiring up logic readers. Right, now we want the sensor. Screwdriver. Occupancy sensor. Variable should be activate. Turn you on. Yep. And you should read from the logic reader. Yep. And that's all done. Can you really not see it? Did I do something wrong? Oh, evidently I did do something wrong here. Logically. Oh, right. I had switched it back. My bad. Oh, I really do struggle. One thing I find a little bit... Still to this day, no matter how much I play the game, or feel that I'm getting used to its controls, the cycle and what it's actually set to confuse me. Like, which is which, and knowing where to look for the right information. I can go for a while without making the mistake, but it will eventually crop up. There we go. Now if I stand in here, lights off. Perfect. All right. Really happy with that. There we go. I keep clicking the wrong thing. But yeah, whilst we're in between these two points, it's quite dark. Can I print a tablet? No. Would that be the electronics printer? I guess it would be. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, advanced tablet. Steel, electrum, and solder. There we go. I would like very much one of these. I might just keep the tracker one. It's a basic little tablet, doesn't pull much power. All it needs to do is have the tracker app on it. If I'm out mining, which is one of the only times I'm going to be away from the base, that is on my mining belt. But the base tablet, the one that's in my tool belt, I use that for a lot of things. Scorn says, Aavak, did you know there's a drinking fountain you can make? Actually, yes, we were just talking about that. As it happens. And battery. Want at least a large battery for this. Obviously, it would help if it was charged first. And another one for the road. Yeah, the helmet and suit switches all display what they are not set to has killed many a player. Yep. The fact that most switches display what they will become when you click them instead of their current state drives me nuts. Yeah. You're not wrong, chat. You're speaking no words of falsehood here. I have the amount of times I've almost suffocated in my spacesuit because I turned the air off when I meant to turn it on. Yeah. It is a thing. It is a known thing. Right, I want to pull out this tablet. Okay, drop that. Oh wow, that was almost out of power as well. I can go into the recycle pile. Or potentially, I could use it for something like... I could use it for a gardening one. You know what? It's not a bad idea. Just leave that one there for a second. Plant. Not plant. Plant analyzer, sure. Obviously, if I wasn't being fastidious about using the old paint system, I believe it's the old one. I don't believe it's the one that they use now, but it's showing here. Paint. Let's go with paint. Like it says you make it from an iron ingot, but I believe there used to be a way that you could do it in a reagent mixer. Or maybe they've taken that out. Have they actually removed that completely? Oh, thank you so much, Sheelab. I thought I heard the door earlier, so I wasn't entirely sure whether that was you or not. Right, there we go. I've turned my headset back off. Like, the speakers on the outside being active, broadcasting my own voice back at me. Oh, I felt like I was drunk. In actual fact, I suspect it made me enunciate my words far more precisely because I was so desperately aware and I was fighting really hard not to slur or say the wrong thing. It was slowing my brain down. My mouth had a chance to catch up. That was quick enough that my tea didn't get cold. That's fantastic news, Lady Sheelab. I don't recall if they ever actually implemented the complex paint recipes because basically everyone hated it. See, the part of me that likes this game for its complexity likes the complex paint recipes for their complexity. I don't get why some people are like, I want infinite paint and I want to be able to paint everything with one spray of the paint can and I like it. You know, it's like, surely these two things are at odds. You're playing Stationeers. That should imply that you have a particular love of the finicky. I'm gonna be honest. Paint's just too necessary for basic pipe and cable organization. I get where you're coming from, but like I just feel that, well, it being complicated is a reward. You have been rewarded. You know, you're rewarded with these things for getting to the point that you can make them. Mix. Was it a mixer? No, it probably wasn't. Oh well, that's a shame. Oh, it's not an aesthetic thing. It's very much a, like as Demonworks said just there, Zuni, you can use it for aesthetics, but in many cases it needs to be something that you do to keep your cable and pipe networks making sense. Demonworks says, because most people want functional complexity, not just fiddly complexity. Well, I don't think it was fiddly complexity for fiddly complexity's sake. I think that is as fiddly as having to let me think of a genuine example, because it's so easy to be disingenuous with this. Let me think of a comparable. bit of complexity. Now, phase change is way more complex. It's no more or less fiddly. I'm going to be honest. Having to manufacture the reagents for your paint, as you having to use soybeans to make the oil for fries versus being able to just make a baked potato in the microwave. Or it's no more fiddly than having to, well, if I'm perfectly honest, having to do any number of multiple steps to put together an auto lathe, rather than just like, I've got an auto lathe, boom, there we go. It took all of the ingredients that I needed to make it out of my inventory, and there we are, I've got an auto lathe. It's no more fiddly than that, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but that's my opinion. It's a very much the more I think about it, this is very much a vibe kind of thing to talk about. And evidently enough people hated the idea that they rolled it back. It's a shame though, because I would have liked it. I would love it if there was an option to have that. I would love it if there were way more options with regards to the difficulty, so you could increase the difficulty of achieving various tasks, like legitimately just like having an option, like so that you can't eat or drink through your helmet. Have an option so you can't just make paint out of iron, because it doesn't make any sense for the same reason. You know, I can't just mash things against the visor of my helmet and suddenly be sated and have my thirst quenched. Likewise, I can't just apply iron to a machine and out pops a paint can of whatever color I want. Yeah, it's fiddly in a place that a lot of people really didn't want more fiddly. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. Though, again, I come back to when getting paint is so easy, the fact that people will mod out paint ever running out, it's like at that point, just mod out filters ever running out. And I'm sure some people do, but quite often I feel that the people who mod paint never running out are also the ones that will balk at someone for modding out any kind of the filters. But well, that's just making the game easy. It's like, yeah, it's funny that. But ultimately, it is very much everyone should be able to play the game the way they want. It's a single player game. I just lament that well, ultimately, I'm sad that not more people feel the same way about this topic than as I do. But bearing that, I guess having multiple recipes for things would just be too finicky for the game, I suppose, or for maintaining. It's a shame though, because that would have been a cool option. I would have liked that. If like on Stationeers difficulty, well, you can't breathe. Sorry, you can't feed and water yourself through your visor, and you don't get paints that are easy to make. On normal difficulty, paints last forever. On Stationeer difficulty, paint lasts until it runs out, and you have to have one squirt per pipe. Even if they're in a stack, you just use 20 squirts at a time. So on and so forth. Right, as I was saying though, I'm going to need to weld all of these tiles, specifically so I can change all of those to steel, for no other reason than I've kind of got an ideal going. I want the flooring to be steel frame underneath the floor covers. It's purely aesthetics. Now that I've got an arc welder, it isn't going to pollute my my living space. Unlimited power. There we go. Oh, that's on network analyzer. Give me a second. See, that's the wonderful thing about this now, is I can just do that. A little bit of pollutants in here, but nothing too bad. While I'm here, though, I guess it makes sense for me to quickly refresh my suit. I did only just top it up, though. No, okay, that's fine. We'll head back out. This also, please just go in there. There we are. Can I not place it down there? Huh. Weird. That is so weird. Oh, I just can't place it down low. That is so weird. Crazy. Towards sunrise. There we are. Right, so now I can safely rip all of those frames out, replace them with steel frames. Those don't need to be running underneath anything. But in here, we are going to be having vents. I'll probably set them up on the wall, though, I'm thinking. But if that is the case with the paints, I guess, then it doesn't matter if I just print some grey paint. Or black paint. It was grey paint. Very well. Now all of this will be turned black. The duality of me. There will be no grey, only white and black. There we go. Actually, it kind of looks nice. I'm not gonna lie. Why is it the black is always the best color? Right. Gonna need a bunch of steel frames. I have any steel? No, it's silver. We got 15 grams of steel in there. Yeah, nothing in here. Legitimately out of steel. Yeah. I guess it's time then to do a steel smelt. Okay, so I'm gonna set this to 150. Right. I'll just keep that as iron. But that's 400 grams of steel there. 2 separate smelts. Okay, how much ice are we gonna need, do you think, chat? Steampunker says, making something like paint fiddly is just tedium. Well, it isn't that it was particularly fiddly. You just threw it into a reagent. The process of making the paint was not difficult. It's that it required that you spend things that made sense. Sorry for us to still be on this point, but I worry that I gave the wrong impression about the fiddliness of making paint. Paint Stationeers. Do we have that still? Yeah, so for example, to make black, you need carbon powder and silver powder. So you would have to basically grind like a couple of grams of silver and a couple of grams of like charcoal in a reagent mixer, and then you'd get black paint. To make blue, you'd use coloring blue, which would be made from certain plants. To make brown, you'd mix coloring red, blue, and yellow. To make all the various colorings, like white would be gold powder, and then red, blue, and yellow in certain mixes. Like the colorings would be, many of them would come from flowers, which would give you a reason to be growing flowers other than simple oxygen production. But you would probably already be growing them anyway. Yeah, it was a paint mixer device. So you just put the stuff in, it would make the stuff for you. Or at least that's what it was meant to be. I wonder if it's still in. No. No, it's completely gone. That's a shame. Right. But in terms of like having resources that you needed to use to like it gave if anything, I feel that it expanded the value of the different color, the multiple different colors that you could make things. Because again, it serves a very practical purpose in that you can change the colors. It's not simply aesthetic. You can change the colors of your wiring and your pipe work, and you want to do that because it dramatically reduces the chance of you making a mistake. Oh, no. Right, you know what? We'll just go with 6. Oh, bugger. Why is this hot? Okay, well, that's unfortunate. The fact that this is considered a room is most irksome. Blech. Blech, I say. With the doors open, it will vent, but until it is a vacuum, it's because I spray painted the floor. Until it's a vacuum, that's going to be an issue for me. Oh well. And I guess we'll go back to just working on the flooring out there instead of making the steel right now. We've got a little bit of it. We can use that. If nothing else, I can make the iron frames that are going to be going around the perimeter. But again, though, it's absolutely fine that people have different feelings on it to me. I find that level of detail to be encouraging. It's just an extra achievement in the line of things that I would work my way through.
Waste tank caution.
If more well, as is evidently the case, if enough people found that it was an unpleasant kind of chore, then yeah, I can understand why the devs changed it. I just wish that more people enjoyed it so that it wouldn't have had to have happened, or that there was a means of either modding it back in, or, which I'm not sure there is, because as many mods as I see, I don't see ones that add whole new devices. So adding in the paint mixer again would be a pain. But the game has gone through so many different iterations. Like the rocketry alone has gone through several different iterations. From having it be able to take you to different planets, to just having infinite mining. You just launch the rocket, it does its thing, it comes back, drops off what it got. Dimo said, there's also a chunk of players who have developed a deeper version to any pipe or cable not being their assigned color, to the point that a number of content creators have whole running gags about it. Yeah, well, I definitely understand that. Again, as much as I feel that it's a shame, I don't don't have such a high opinion of my particular preferences that I think it's the only valid preference. Yeah, okay, that still goes through the floor. Good. Now, this is the room. Do I want it to be 3 wide or 2? That's the separating wall. I think having it 3 wide makes sense, so I'll have to punt you a little bit more. There we are. Pipes with the wrong color. Rah! There we go. We'll also fill that in. All right, time to weld. Been a lot of mods that add devices and whatnot. Really? The Stationeers modding has to deal with the game being updated at times every few weeks. Oh, right. Okay, yeah, I see why that would be a bit of an issue. I wasn't aware that there were ones that had added new devices. Oh, no, we want sheets. There we go. That is going to be where I want to bring the weather station. Maybe I can work on that as well in just a moment. Once this is done, I technically don't need to place the frames on the inside. I would just need to put up walls to create an effectively airtight area, and of course that needs to be sealed off because that's a point between the room, the two rooms rather. I'm going to need to recharge you. This is why I wanted 2 batteries at least. Do I not have any more iron? I probably don't know. Okay. Okay, do we have... Yep, okay, good in here. Right, well, I'm going to need more than these now. Seriously? Oh, I was in direct sunlight. Ah, why did I stand here? Oh! I need shutters for this stupid room. Clearly, that's what I need to add. Shutters. I need to be able to seal those stupid windows in this stupid room. Right. We want water. Fountain? Drinking fountain. Okay, make me one of these. Now the question is, how long until... God damn. I'm gonna have to wait for ages now for that to vent out. Oh well. It is what it is. Right, so... water fountain should be... probably... here, I'm thinking. Walk up, have a drink. Yep, that works. That probably... I'm not sure if that would be able to sit above. Maybe? It's possible I could make that work. Either that, or I'd have the bottle filler right next to it. Why would I need both? You might be tempted to ask. The reason is that I would want to be able to drink from bottles if I'm going out to outposts. Oh no, the 102 is... pipe will have to go at the top. You know what? That isn't actually the worst thing in the world. Okay, I'll do.
Hydration critical.
Funny enough, considering I'm working on that right now. just going to need to wait for all of that to vent. Extremely vexing. I guess I could add more ventilation in here. But I don't think that would be the right way to go about it. Do we have spare piping? We do. Only 4, but I'll place those down for now. Some of it's going to have to make its way into... Actually, it's in the perfect position to the plants. Problem is, you'll be exposed to the potential coldness from outside. So I'm going to need an insulated pair of pipes up top. 1 more pipe and 2 insulation for that. Although I could just print a insulated pipe, I suppose. I don't think there's much of a difference. One steel, 1 silicon, whereas that's just 1 steel, 1 silicon. Oh, no, it is cheaper to print the pipes as is then. Yeah. There we go. Very much don't need that on right now. And insulation. I quite like the fact that insulated tape is a thing now. Hey, Delara. There we go. And these can hook up down there, connect all the way through to that water. Eventually, the central island here will all be plants. That's my plan anyway. Down here I can have a kitchen. Up top I can have my consoles and the likes. Right. Do we have cold? Yes. Okay. 6, please. Hopefully that will be enough. What's it required for steel again? Okay, 900 Kelvin. We need probably another 2, maybe 4. I know there are quite exact amounts that people are aware of. Oh, that's too... that are able to bring a cold furnace up to the amount to smelt. But I'm not sure what would be required given the current state of our furnace. Can you pump excess O2 from the plants into the furnace? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I actually need a lot more. The problem is we've got so much pressure in there. I should have reduced the pressure before we started. Because I was wasting a lot of energy heating up already cold gas. In fact, let's take it down to 10. There's no reason for it to be this high. I should have entered that ages ago. Because I do not need, like, I've already got 2 canisters of hot CO2 ready to take in there. That's good enough, I think. Right, temperatures all over the place. Let's get another 4. Won't take quite as much now. There we go. Much faster increase in temperature. Perfect. Whoa, 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 whoa. I spotted you. Just in time, you tricky demon. You're about to mess my smelt up. Rude. So temp 950. Could probably make it. We'll see. No. No, I was just a few seconds too late. Oh, no, never mind. It was already going to break it. Okay, so this is a problem now because there is sun showing up. I need what exactly? Probably 2 and 1. No, I'm going to go in here because this is very much excluded from the heat. This will give me enough. I just need to be fast about it. Like, right when there is a eclipse. Take that, son. I'll do. I'll pop the steel in there. All right, let's go and have a quick drink. I don't quite understand why when you're cycling through the various options on the suit, sometimes it just decides to jump halfway over the options and then continue from the top. Drink. Furnaces are dangerous if you derp and throw a full stack in them, yeah. Very dangerous as it happens. Well, we've still got 159 litres of water. That is perfectly fine for what we need. 108 kilopascals of pressure in here. Let's turn you on. I want to top up my O2 tank. I remember blowing myself up because I thought I needed more ice than I did. Yeah, it happens, unfortunately. It does unfortunately happen. But with that, I should be able to finish off the frames. Replace those frames in particular. All of these are now welded in, so I can completely change from there down. Good enough, honestly. Now, for you... There we are, emptying all this out. Mind you, that is going to push the pressure in this environment a little high. I may need to take some of this delicious, wonderful atmosphere and put it somewhere else. Like this potato. No, no, potato. Come on, you can do it. There, no, wait, maybe. Yeah, 114 kPa. Not super amazing, but... We're about to expand the room by an entire tile, so that will help. The potatoes are not that keen on staying in one place now. Okay. We're good for everything. Pop that on. Pop this on. And out we go. Despite the fact that we're not using IC, I'm kind of happy with the moderate amount of automation that we've got going. Right. First and foremost, frames. Steel ones. Begin the print. How many are we going to need? Need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14, and okay, we need 24. Well, which means we'll also need a bunch of extra steel sheets. And granted, actually, we're going to need more. Well, no, we'll need 31 in total. If not a little bit, well, no, we're going to need more than that as well. Okay, the list keeps climbing. So we'll just take a few, get a little bit of work done, and move on from there. Okay, that's good enough. And we'll grind these frames out. Oh, I missed one. Also put that in the wrong hand. All right, let's pop all of these in here. While we're here, I want to hook this up outside. Is there a convenient wire location I could tap into? A little bit, yeah. So I want to pop that about there, I think. Angle grind it. Back for you in a moment. Right. I want to make sure the light is visible. I think the other way is sometimes really awkward to see. I think having it there will be correct, though. Thankfully, it's blocking the solar sensor will not, in fact, impact it in any way. Yeah, that looks a bit better. Right, we're going to need power to run through there. So I need to see if I can get that to connect out. Should be able to, though. Yep. Oh, maybe not. Let me just delete that then. And instead, from you, I want you to run this way and then... Oh, can I not get it to go there? Oh no, I can. That was weird. Where is that? Yeah, it's going along the seam, I thought. Kind of surprised I couldn't see it there. Am I blind? I'm starting to think I am. No, I'm just gonna run the cable in from outside. That should be visible from in there, we'll see. Also gonna need more cables, wow. I swear there's some magic going on in here. Need some copper. Guess while that's happening, I can get some steel sheets made. Oh, goodness. Okay. Yeah, no. That's fine. That is actually a solid wall. Fair. I should have clued in on that. I did not. My bad. That is a completely welded in steel frame. This is when I'm going to need to take the power out. Okay, that's going to be irritatingly annoying. Irritating and annoying, I should say. Irritatingly annoying doesn't make much sense. Okay, you finish printing what you're done. You finish printing what you're done, so I'm not wasting things.